Alright, welcome back everyone to another episode of Daz Den Tech Reviews, the tech review channel where we help you guys work smarter, not harder. And I am continuing my series of speakers from TrebLab, and we have finally made it down to their smallest little guy they have, the HD7. It's about 7 inches tall, is fairly light, the same kind of construction as the HD77 and the HD Max, just in a smaller body. So today we're going to find out to see if this also gets the Daz Den stamp of approval. I've been using it for the past couple weeks now as well, kind of testing it out. And it looks really similar to the other speakers, but there are a few differences. And I am going to go through those with you guys today. But if this is your first time checking us out here at Daz Den Tech Reviews, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the Daz Den family, hit that like button. That way you can kind of just stay up to date on all our latest videos. So we got a bunch of new videos coming out in the future, so definitely stick around. But that's a little too much talking, so let's go ahead and run the intro. Welcome back everyone, my name is Darren and this is Daz Den Tech Reviews, a tech review channel where we help you guys work smarter, not harder. And today we are reviewing the HD7 from TrebLab. You guys already know I did the HD Max already. I did it also the HD77. Those are really great speakers. So we're going to go over a couple things about this speaker, and I'm going to find out if it's going to be worth the money. It's something that we recommend you guys having. And the easiest way to do that is to pretty much give it the Daz Den stamp of approval. And if you don't know what the Daz Den stamp of approval is, it looks something like this. And all that means is that it is something that we've tested, we like, is a product that we enjoy, and we would buy it for ourselves if we haven't bought it already, and recommend it for you guys to buy it as well. Just so you guys know, none of these videos are actually sponsored by TrebLab, so these are really our own honest opinions and what we thought about the products. But we're going to go through our normal routine where we go over product, the design and features, performance, pricing, overall opinions on it, and kind of then decide if it gets our Daz Den stamp of approval. But you know what? Let's go ahead and dive right into it and move over to design and features. Alright, well, let's go over the design and features. And like I said, it looks pretty much like the HD7 7 as well as the HD Max, except in a very small body. It is pretty much smaller than my palm of my hands. It's about 7 inches tall. Guess that's where to get HD7 from. It does have the same 4 buttons on the top. Pretty much your volume down, volume up, play button, your Bluetooth power on and sync button. That's the button you hold down when you're actually going to pair it. It does also have the same cylinder shape, so it does have 2 subwoofers to kind of just give a little extra sound. It does have the same rugged design where it is also water resistant with a water resistant rating of IPX6, I believe. Yep. You're going to still get that same features when it comes to it. It also does come with the wrist strap like with the HD7, as well as this little banana C-clip thing, which I use a lot. I don't really use the wrist strap personally. I just use it to clip on. But I actually use this to clip on the back of my North Face as we travel around, as we was going to the park and stuff like that, and just had it back there. The only other difference that this has that the HD7 doesn't have is that there's actually a little hole at the bottom. And when you'll ask me what that hole is for, it's very simple. That's actually for a bike mount. So you can actually mount this onto your bike. So if you guys are going to plan on mountain biking or just going on a cruise and you just want to have something to kind of give you some sound, the hair is built in. You can also answer and make phone calls with this during speakerphone. Now, it doesn't have the power of the HD77 because it is only a 12-watt speaker. But I don't think this is going to be something that you're going to use to really blow your walls down in your house. It's really more so like a traveling speaker. It's legitimately a traveling speaker. Look, the size wise says it all. The HD77 was already small, and this is a lot smaller than the HD77. So it is something that is built to travel, portable, and go from there. It does state that it has a 25-hour battery life, and it doesn't use the USB-C charger like the HD Max does. It uses the same as the HD7, which is just a regular micro USB, as well as you have the auxiliary port as well with it. So you're still going to get a lot of the same features, just in a smaller size. But that's really all the features of it. So let's go ahead and move into the performance. All right, performance-wise, this is where this speaker differs from the other two speakers. This could also pair with another HD7 if you really wanted to. You could pair two of these together. So I forgot to say that in the features, but you could definitely pair two of these speakers together. They work perfectly fine. I actually have two, and I pair both of them together, and actually was pretty straightforward like all the other speakers we have. Now I'll tell you this. If you're looking to have a party, you're looking to enjoy music outside, like in your backyard, while you're out there barbecuing, you could either be by yourself or in a group of people, this is probably not the speaker that you want. It does say that it has the same 360 HD sound as the other speakers, and that it does have a bass boost, but to be honest with you, I don't know. It is definitely not one of those speakers. Now, what it is really good for is, even though it doesn't have a lot of bass, the vocals are really good. Like if you're listening to a song, the words and stuff is really clear. There's very good clarity there. So I kind of tested it out with a podcast, and it works amazing with a podcast. So now I understand why it has the attachment for a bike, because if you're cruising on your bike, you can't really blast music really loud because technically speaking, you might be out in public. But if you wanted something to really just listen to, you want to listen to an audiobook while you're riding, you don't want to have the headphones in your ears, you do want to have a little sound, but you don't want to get too crazy, this is definitely going to serve its purpose. If you're going on short trips in the park, so that's what I used it for. I used it to actually when we went to the park. I didn't want to cause too much noise, but just give us a little bit of sound while we were kind of just taking our laps and walking. And it really did that and served that purpose well. So I would say this, if you are looking for something that's more music based and looking to have a good time, this is probably not going to be the speaker that you want. I will definitely say go ahead and get the HD7 instead. It's just a little larger, but it does give you better sound. But for just the vocals podcast, this is a great solid speaker. Now, don't get me wrong. You can use it for music. It's not going to knock your socks off. But if you're just working in your garage and you just want some sound in there and that's all you care about, then this is going to work perfectly fine for you. So now that brings us to the biggest point of what about pricing? Because I already told you guys, maybe step your game up to the HD7 instead. But how much does the HD7 actually cost? And right now on Amazon, you can get it for $51.97 right now on sale. Normally $70. I wouldn't do it for the $51. Maybe if it was a little cheaper, I'd definitely recommend it. But to be honest with you, if you're already going to spend that money, I would definitely recommend getting the HD7 instead, because you're going to get a lot more sound. Unless you really need a speaker that you could connect to your bike, then I will see this. Or not even just the bike, because these little mounts are usually universal, so you could probably find other mounts that you can use to hook it up to anything else. So I guess that will help. But it's also really small and portable, so you can slide this to anything. It won't take up too much space in your suitcase. It's easy. If you have kids and you take your kids on a walk with a stroller, you could pop this in your stroller and it works perfectly fine. You could get some tunes going for either for you or the kids. But at that price point, at almost $60, I would just get the HD7 instead, because the HD7 right now is $89. I would spend the extra $30 for extra sound. So that is the only thing about pricing, and leave that up to you guys to decide if it's worth it or not. So now let's go into our overall opinion of the HD7, and I'll have to say this. I'll hold off on giving it the DASDN stamp of approval just yet. I'll let it I'll use it a little longer. If I change my mind, then I'll do an update video. But I just feel like at this price, you might as well just go get the HD7 because you're going to get a lot better sound, unless you just want something that's even smaller than the HD7, which is, this is extremely small. Like I said, it's palm of my hands. You can't beat it for the size. It is also very rugged. It has a nice little heft to it. It does connect very quickly to your phone. You could pair two of these guys together. So if you bought two, you'd be spending $100, and that might help your sounds a little bit more. I have two, but I rather use the HD. But I'm also spoiled because I have the HD Max that I use all the time outside, and the HD7s we use when we go kind of like just traveling to the beach and stuff like that. So I am a little spoiled. So this was kind of like, I would just kind of up it. But if it's not in your price point now, then I think it's something that I would recommend that you get. I just can't really justify the price at this point. I think you should just go ahead and up your game up to the HD7 instead. But overall, it is a good quality product from TrebLab. I did enjoy it, especially when I was listening to podcasts and stuff like that, because I listen I listen to old Opie and Anthony replays from years ago, and I did use it outside a lot while listening to that, and it worked out great because there's a little bit of cursing in there, so I didn't have to worry about it being too loud, but I was still able to get my fix because I was working in a garage, cleaning out the garage, so it did work. I didn't attach it to the bike, but I did hook it to my book bag as we was walking around the park, and it did work well for those purposes. So it does serve a purpose in our family, and that's why I actually bought a second one. Even though I would say step your game up, I still found the value in it, and I bought two because we have, it's my wife and I, so if we wanted to go separate ways, we each have one, or if we wanted to pair them together and we're at the beach or something like that and don't want to make too much noise, because that's our thing. We don't want to disturb people if we don't have to. So that is kind of where it's going to be into. So if you're in an apartment and you don't want to make too much noise, then this would be a solid thing for you. Also, while you're out and about, taking the kids, going places, it is something that we can't recommend at that point. But overall, it's a solid product. I will say that. I've dropped it. It's rolled around. This is the nicer looking one. The other one was the one I got first, and is all scuffed up at the bottom, but it's just like, it's black. It is what it is, man. You just rub it all, go like this, and it's back to new. But let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I really appreciate you guys for checking this video out. I'll drop a link in the description of Amazon if you guys want to take a look at it. There's also video clips on there as well for how it attaches to the bike and stuff like that. Oh, also for battery life, you're definitely going to get about 20 hours out this battery, hands down. So don't worry about that. So you definitely could use it for traveling. But until next time, people, have a wonderful day. Think about subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet, and thanks for watching.